So I just got done talking about how there are a lot of really gullible, unintelligent people who are greedy and lazy and vicious, and the research behind that, and how they get controlled by evil because they're dumb and lazy and greedy and gullible and lazy. I think I already said lazy. Anyway, um, so I want to look at the very simple way. This it's too simple. It's startlingly, stupidly simple. That the evil leaders control the gullible, dumb people. And this is in the essay called The Basics. You can just search my name with the title. It'll pull up the essay. It's only 2 pages, so I hope you can manage. First, when a con artist wants to fool you and manipulate you and use you as a tool, they have to find out who they can do that to. They have to filter. They got all these people in front of them in a crowd. They got to figure out which ones are suggestible, which ones can be manipulated. So they have filters, they have tests. There'll be a guy who's standing at a cafe with a backpack. It's just got a few things in it, some socks, deodorant, a toothbrush. And he walks up to you and he says, "Hey, could you take my bag for a second? I gotta run to the bathroom." And he's filtering. He wants to see if you're dumb enough to be compliant. He wants to test you for compliance. Are you thinking clearly? Or do you just agree because you freak out and stop thinking? He's filtering for that kind of person. So if you say to him, "Why don't you just take your backpack with you to the bathroom like every normal person?" Then he knows you can't be fooled. But if you say, "Oh, okay, all right," and you hold on to his backpack while he runs away, now he knows that you are a mark. He can fool you. You are compliant and gullible. And he's going to run away to the bathroom and come back. And then he's going to thank you way too much. He's going to say, "Wow, thank you so much for not running away with my backpack. I know I can trust you because so many people would have just taken my stuff. I can trust you. So you should return the favor by trusting me." No, no, that's not how trust works. But they want to find the person who's compliant, who's not thinking, so that they say, "Oh, yeah, I can trust you." And that's when the guy with the backpack says, "Okay, great, because I have to run to the airport and I don't have time to cash this check. But I'll sign the check over to you and you can cash it if you just give me half of it in cash. If you just, it's $200, you give me $100, I'm signing over a $200 check for you. I got to run to the airport. I just need the money." And you give him $100 in cash for a fake check. And when you try to go to the bank to cash it, there's alarm bells going off because you are now committing a crime. That's how con artists are able to con you. They filter from amongst the whole population who's dumb, who's gullible, who's greedy. You got to be gullible and compliant, or it's not going to work. And you got to be greedy, or else why would you take the money? Wow, I'm going to get an extra $100 more than I deserve. I didn't have to work for this. Only greedy people want that. So you got to be gullible. You got to be greedy. Here's another great example of how that con artistry works. A guy walks up to you like he's walked up to thousands of other people and he says, "Wow, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen." Lie. Lie. "I really admire your style." Lie. He wants to see if you're vain and gullible. And he sees how easily he can string you along. Hey, I would buy you dinner and promise you a wonderful life if you sleep with me a bunch of times. Can I string you along for months as booty call? And I only spent like 400 bucks on you, which is like a lot cheaper than a lady who does it professionally. It's a lot cheaper than a lady who's a professional. He's trying to test you for compliance and gullibility and greed. He has to find which people are like that. So he's going up to everybody saying that. He says it to everybody. And when you fall for it, you know that you're gullible and greedy. Go look at how Epstein got girls to recruit girls for him. Gullible and greedy. That's the only time a con artist is ever going to work on you. You got to want things you never earned, and you got to believe dumb stories. So the system of control that I describe in the basics is really basic. It's really simple. First, they have to find out if you're dumb by making up the dumbest story. There are 20-foot tall dinosaurs in trench coats who stuff ballot boxes with ballots for hedgehogs because hedgehogs run this giant underground mafia, and the earth is shaped like a rhombus. Do you believe me? Do you believe me? Are you that dumb? They gotta find out who's dumb first. So they make up a really dumb story and they see who believes it. When you believe that dumb story, then they know you're dumb. You're gullible. And then they're gonna tell you more and more dumb stuff to get you all riled up so that you go out and hurt somebody. That's how it happens. And they got to keep all y'all separate. The people at the top of the food chain of control, they got to keep everyone at the bottom fighting each other. Got to keep you distracted hating your neighbor instead of the guy in the mansion. So they got to split you up into different teams, and they got to wiggle into every team. They wiggle into every single team. If you think your side of politics is good and the other side of politics is evil, you're one of the dumb ones. They got you fooled. The people at the top are going to wiggle into every group. And once they're inside, they can identify who's got good ideas, who's motivated by virtue, who's getting people organized properly. And they target those people, discredit them, attack them, get rid of them, so that the people at the top can become the leader of that group. Once they're the leader, they only say dumb options. They'll give you two options, both of them are horrible. Doesn't matter which of those two options you pick, you still pick the wrong one. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want you to recite the mantra. They're going to slowly escalate the demands. Eventually, they're paradoxical demands. They're going to push you harder and harder to conform to their group, or else they threaten you with exclusion, ostracization. Those are cult indoctrination tactics. And they want to do that in every group. That's why every group hates me. Sky, I keep pointing out, you only think of two options. Both of the options are bad. You don't want to hear any other option. You guys only think of two options. Both of those options are bad. You both think you're the evil ones fighting the evil ones. You both think you're going to be victorious by just pushing hard enough. But none of you actually come up with new ideas. None of you do your own research. None of you are skeptical of your own thoughts first. You're easily controlled because you're gullible. You're buying a narrative that someone else gave you. That's how it happens. So once they've infiltrated every side of the debate, and collapsed the conversation into only dumb options, then they're able to extort you. People at the top already have all the money and power. They own missiles and they can print dollars. They already have all the money they need. They have all that influence. What they need from you is your participation. So they use threats and they use payouts, bribes, to coerce your participation. They need you to be obedient, to do what they want you to do. So now they got all that money. Here's the last part of the basics in the essay. There's more in the comment section. Comment sections get vicious. The last component is that they got all that money, but they need to avoid accountability. They have to make sure that no one knows how much money they have, how much control, where their whole web of influence. So they have to split up at the top, put it under different shell companies, have different people at the board of directors. They got to split it up. And they will consistently pick the people to hold the money who are perverts. They have to pick perverts. People who would be shamed and ostracized by society if they were outed. If you would be disgusted with that person, then the guy at the top wants that person to hold the bag of dollars. Because that's how you blackmail. So that's the whole system of control in a nutshell. That's the basics of how they keep control. And then there's a couple other layers about how the media is continually presenting you with definitions of words that are not correct, where they take two different words that had two different meanings, they are two different concepts, and then they collapse them into the same meaning to get rid of the other meaning. Now this other concept is gone. You never even think of it. Classic example, fun and good. Good means virtue, ethics, right and wrong. That is good. It's good or evil. That's the contrast. Fun is not at all related to good. They're entirely different classes of things. And there was a swift, complete transition in this country, starting with television, where the meaning good got replaced with the meaning fun. You can see it in what people actually say. When my grandparents would put a plate of food in front of you and you're eating it up and they want to know if you liked the taste of the food, they would ask you, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the food? Because that's pleasure. They asked you if it was pleasing. Did you enjoy the meal? My parents grew up with TV. So if they have a plate of food with you and they want to know if you like the taste, they say, was it good? This plate of food didn't carry babies out of a burning building. It didn't jump on a grenade to save its compatriots. It didn't rally the populace against injustice. I mean, feeding people is good, I guess. Food can't be good. It's not making choices. It doesn't have free will. Good is a sign of your own free will and ethical principles. But boomers with TV collapsed good into fun. And so now people say good when they actually mean fun. And that's how they forgot the meaning good. They forgot that good means ethics and virtue. It's good versus evil. Now people see a good movie And that means it was fun. Now people talk about a good woman, and that means she's a slave. You forgot what good means, and that was intentional. That's how the media works.